The conference hall buzzed with anticipation. 3 alien sisters stood at the center of the massive circular stage, their blue-tinted skin shimmering under the holographic lights. Hannah, the eldest, adjusted her presentation controls with a confident smirk. Xylarian research facilities had long considered humans a curiosity, a primitive species barely worth serious scientific study. Hannah knew her presentation would cement their reputation as nothing more than cosmic backwater inhabitants. Her younger sisters, Yon and Sue, flanked her with matching expressions of academic superiority. "Ladies and gentlemen of the Galactic Research Consortium," Hannah began, her voice crisp and calculated, "today we present comprehensive evidence of human technological and social limitations." The first holographic image appeared, a chaotic street, seen from Earth showing traffic congestion, people staring at small handheld devices, and what seemed like random urban movement. Hannah's pointer highlighted the apparent disorder. "Observe their transportation systems," she explained. "Inefficient combustion engines, primitive ground-based vehicles, no unified transportation strategy. Imagine spending hours trapped in small, metal containers, moving at ridiculously slow speeds." Yon stepped forward. Her research focused on human communication technologies. She displayed a series of social media interactions, emphasizing what she considered meaningless digital exchanges. "Their communication methods are equally primitive," Yon continued. "Short messages, emotional outbursts, no telepathic connections. They rely on verbal and written communication with significant potential for misunderstanding." Sue, the youngest, specialized in human biological research. Her presentation targeted human physical limitations. Charts comparing human physical capabilities with advanced alien species filled the screen. "Humans are remarkably fragile," Sue declared. "Limited strength, vulnerable immune systems, slow healing processes. They require extensive protective equipment for basic survival in challenging environments." The audience of alien researchers murmured and chuckled. Decades of similar presentations had painted humans as an unremarkable species, technologically stunted, socially chaotic, and biologically weak. What the sisters didn't know was that a single human diplomatic observer sat quietly in the back row. Dressed in a standard grey uniform, he recorded every word, every dismissive gesture, every moment of academic arrogance. His name was J. Park, and he represented Earth's interstellar diplomatic corps. Behind his calm exterior, a strategic mind was already formulating a response that would change everything. The sisters continued their presentation, showing images of human conflicts, environmental challenges, and technological limitations. They highlighted humanity's struggles with climate change, political divisions, and resource management. "A species consistently on the brink of self-destruction," Hannah concluded, "barely capable of managing their own planet, let alone considering interstellar exploration." Applause rippled through the conference hall. Senior researchers nodded in agreement, reinforcing the established narrative about human insignificance. J. Park remained motionless, his dark eyes recording every detail. A slight smile played at the corner of his mouth, a smile that suggested something profound was about to unfold. The sisters stepped back, believing they had delivered the definitive academic takedown of human potential. They expected commendations, perhaps additional research funding, and certainly continued recognition as leading xenobiological researchers. Little did they know that their presentation would become a turning point. The recorded footage would spread across multiple communication networks. Their words would reach unexpected audiences, setting in motion a chain of events that would challenge everything they believed about humanity. As the conference concluded, Hannah, Yeon, and Sue celebrated their successful presentation. They gathered for celebratory drinks, discussing potential future research directions, completely unaware that their academic mockery had just painted a target on their backs. In the shadows of the conference center, J. Park made a secure communication. "Mission accomplished," he said simply. "Prepare Phase 2. The cosmic stage was set. Humanity's response was coming. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this part of the story?" King Nexar sat alone in his massive throne room, holographic screens floating around him. The recordings of the three Xylarian sisters' presentation played on repeat. His fingers drummed a complex rhythm on the crystalline armrest of his chair. The royal advisors watched nervously. They knew their king's reputation for unexpected decisions. When he was silent, trouble was brewing. "Bring me the research files," Nexar commanded. An assistant quickly transferred digital documents to the central screen. Images of the three sisters, Hannah, Yon, and Sue, appeared. Their academic records, personal histories, and recent research documents displayed in precise columns. Nexar's eyes narrowed. He had watched humans for decades, collecting secret reports that most of his scientific community ignored. Their adaptability, their unexpected innovations, their remarkable survival instincts. These were traits the sisters had completely missed. The royal communication system activated. A soft chime indicated an incoming classified report from the Planetary Intelligence Network. The document confirmed what Nexar already suspected. Humans were far more complex than anyone believed. "Prepare the royal chambers," he announced suddenly. The advisors exchanged confused glances. The king's decision would shock the entire Xylarian civilization. Marriage to royal family members was not just a personal matter. It was a complex diplomatic and social contract with massive implications. Hannah, Yon, and Sue would be summoned. They would learn respect through an unexpected method. Their academic arrogance would be transformed into something entirely different. Royal messengers were dispatched immediately. The three sisters would have no idea what awaited them. In another, part of the capital city, Hannah was reviewing her recent presentation notes. Yeon studied potential follow-up research. Sue was designing new comparative biology charts. They believed their success was complete. The royal summons arrived precisely at midday. Encoded with official seals, the message demanded their immediate presence at the central palace. "This is unusual," Hannah muttered, reading the official communication. Her sisters gathered around, equally puzzled. The palace guards escorted them through massive crystalline corridors. Elaborate murals depicting Xylarian history surrounded them. Each step brought them closer to an encounter that would change their lives forever. King Nexar watched their approach on hidden monitoring systems. His plan was carefully constructed. Punishment and opportunity would blend into a single moment. When the sisters entered the throne room, everything felt different. The usual formal atmosphere seemed charged with unexpected tension. "Welcome," King Nexar said, his voice calm and measured. "I have reviewed your recent academic presentation about humans." Hannah stepped forward. "Your Majesty, our research is comprehensive and—" "Silence," the king interrupted. His single word carried absolute authority. The sisters froze. Royal protocols demanded complete submission when the king spoke. "You will marry," Nexar declared. The statement hung in the air like a physical weight. Confusion replaced their previous confidence. Marry? To whom? Royal marriages were complex, diplomatic arrangements with profound social consequences. "Each of you," the king continued, "will be assigned a human partner. Your marriages will serve as a diplomatic bridge between our civilizations." Yon's scientific mind raced with questions. Sue looked shocked. Hannah remained perfectly still, processing the unexpected decree. The royal advisors watched silently. They knew the king's decisions were never random. Every action served a larger strategic purpose. "This is not a request," Nexar added. "This is a royal command." The sisters realized their carefully constructed academic world had just been completely dismantled. Their mockery of humans would now transform into something they could never have predicted. Outside the palace, a diplomatic shuttle carrying human representatives approached. J. Park sat quietly, a slight smile indicating he knew exactly what was happening. The cosmic game of diplomatic chess had just made its most surprising move. "Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this part of the story?" The human diplomatic team arrived with calculated precision. 3 individuals, each representing a different aspect of human capability, walked into the Xylarian Royal Hall. J. Park led the group. His movements were calm, his dark eyes observing everything. Behind him stood Wu Kim, a technology specialist whose compact device could transform entire planetary systems. Beside Wu was Yun Li, a cultural expert with an encyclopedic understanding of interspecies communication. King Nexar watched their entrance, a subtle smile playing across his face. The Xylarian sisters, Hana, Yeon, and Su, stood nearby, their previous confidence now replaced by nervous uncertainty. "We have come to present additional information," Jay began, his voice clear and direct. Wu Kim activated a holographic projection. Suddenly the entire hall filled with images of human achievements. Quantum computing breakthroughs scrolled past. Advanced medical technologies appeared. Complex mathematical algorithms danced in three-dimensional space. Hana tried to interrupt. "These could be manipulated." Yun Li raised one hand. The gesture was so precise, so controlled, that Hana immediately fell silent. "Each image is verified," Keun explained, "documented, confirmed by multiple independent research institutions across multiple star systems." The holographic display showed human adaptability in extraordinary detail. A sequence demonstrated how humans had transformed a toxic planetary environment into a thriving ecosystem. Another showed medical nanobots repairing complex genetic damage. Wu stepped forward, holding a small metallic device. "This technology can terraform entire planetary systems within decades," he said simply. "Not centuries, not millennia. Decades." The Xylarian researchers in the room began to shift uncomfortably. Their previous assumptions were crumbling with each presentation. Yeon, the middle sister, found herself fascinated. Her scientific mind couldn't ignore the evidence. Quantum entanglement algorithms, adaptive learning systems, breakthrough energy generation technologies. Su watched medical simulations that showed human cellular regeneration techniques that seemed almost magical. Humans could potentially reverse aging, repair complex neurological damage, and adapt to extreme environments. Jay Park's presentation wasn't just about technology. He showed human cultural resilience, images of communities rebuilding after massive disasters, technological innovations created during periods of extreme challenge. "Humans do not simply survive," Jay explained. "We transform, we adapt, we overcome." The royal advisors listened in stunned silence. King Nexar's smile grew slightly wider. Yun Li's section focused on human communication. She demonstrated how humans could understand and adapt to complex cultural nuances. Translation algorithms that captured not just words but emotional context. Communication systems that bridged massive cultural differences. Wu displayed a device that could generate sustainable energy from multiple sources. "This technology," he said, "can power entire planetary systems using minimal resources." The Xylarian sisters realized their previous research was fundamentally flawed. Hana's face showed a mix of professional embarrassment and growing respect. "Your previous assessment," Jay said directly to the sisters, "was incomplete. Humans are not a primitive species. We are an emerging civilization with extraordinary potential." King Nexar's plan was becoming clear. This wasn't just a diplomatic mission. This was a carefully orchestrated demonstration of human capability. The holographic displays continued. Space exploration technologies, adaptive AI systems, medical breakthroughs that could extend life and eliminate genetic diseases. Wu Kim's final demonstration showed a compact device that could generate entire ecological systems. Barren planets could be transformed into living worlds within decades. "This is who humans are," Jay concluded. "Not just a species, a potential." The room remained silent. The Xylarian sisters exchanged looks of complete shock. Their academic careers, their previous research, their entire understanding of humanity had been systematically dismantled. King Nexar slowly stood. "Interesting presentation," he said quietly. The cosmic perspective had just shifted. Humanity was no longer an overlooked species. They were a potential galactic partner. "Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this part of the story?" The Royal Marriage Preparation Center felt like a strange mixture of scientific laboratory and cultural exchange program. Hana, Yeon, and Su found themselves in a completely unexpected world. Each sister was assigned a human partner and a comprehensive integration program. Their previous academic arrogance had transformed into a deep, uncomfortable curiosity. Hannah's partner was Michael, a historian specializing in technological evolution. During their first meeting, he brought ancient human books and digital archives. Instead of mocking human communication, Hannah discovered herself fascinated by human storytelling. Literature is a form of complex information transfer, Michael explained. We communicate emotions, cultural experiences, and complex ideas through narrative. Jon worked with David, a quantum physics researcher. His approach challenged everything she knew about scientific methodology. Human research wasn't just about collecting data. It was about asking unexpected questions. We don't just observe, David told her. We imagine possibilities beyond current understanding. Sue's partner was Elena, a cellular biologist. Elena's research demonstrated human adaptability at microscopic levels, biological systems that could rebuild, regenerate, and transform challenged Sue's previous scientific assumptions. Humans don't just survive, Elena said. We reconstruct ourselves, continuously. The integration program was intense. Language training, cultural workshops, technical exchanges. The sisters discovered that human learning wasn't a linear process, but a complex, adaptive system. Hannah started reading human novels. She discovered emotional complexity in stories about human survival, love, and transformation. Her scientific brain began processing narrative as another form of data transfer. Jon's research notebooks changed. She started asking questions that seemed almost philosophical. How do technological systems evolve? What drives innovation? Her collaboration with David opened entire new research pathways. Sue's biological research transformed. She began studying human adaptive mechanisms, not as a superior species analyzing a primitive one, but as a genuine scientific explorer. Their royal marriage preparation included unexpected elements: cultural exchange programs, technical workshops, personal interaction sessions designed to break down previous misconceptions. King Nexar watched their progress carefully. His diplomatic strategy was working perfectly. The sisters were no longer academic observers. They were becoming participants in a much larger cosmic conversation. Human communication techniques fascinated them. Not just verbal language, but body language, emotional nuance, the ability to communicate complex ideas through subtle interactions. Michael showed Hannah how human historians reconstructed entire civilizations from small pieces of evidence. We don't just collect facts, he explained. We understand context. David demonstrated quantum entanglement principles to Yeon using simple analogies. Science is storytelling, he said. We create narratives that explain complex systems. Elena helped Sue understand human medical innovations, cellular regeneration techniques, genetic adaptability, systems that could rebuild and transform continuously. The sisters discovered something unexpected: humility. Their previous academic presentations seemed childish compared to the complex reality of human potential. Their personal transformations were subtle but profound. Hannah's research notes became more exploratory. Jon's technical designs incorporated more adaptive thinking. Sue's biological models became more dynamic. The royal court watched their progress with growing interest. These were not just marriages. These were potential bridges between civilizations. Diplomatic reports noted the sisters' changing perspectives. What had begun as a punishment was becoming a complex cultural exchange. King Nexar's strategy was working. The sisters were no longer viewing humans as a primitive species. They were beginning to see humanity as a potential partner. Their personal relationships developed alongside their professional transformations. Michael's historical perspectives challenged Hannah's linear thinking. David's quantum approaches expanded Yeon's research methodologies. Eleanor's biological insights reshaped Sue's understanding of adaptive systems. The marriage preparation program was creating something unexpected: genuine understanding. As weeks passed, the sisters realized their previous research was not just incomplete, it was fundamentally wrong. Humans were not a species to be studied from a distance. They were a complex, adaptive, transformative civilization. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this part of the story? The Galactic Research Consortium conference hall fell silent when Hana, Yeon, and Sue walked in. These were not the same researchers who had mocked humans months earlier. Hana stepped to the presentation platform. Her holographic display began, with a surprising title, Humanity, a Civilization of Unexpected Potential. The audience watched in shock. The same sisters who had previously ridiculed humans were now presenting a groundbreaking research paper that celebrated human capabilities. Our previous research was fundamentally incorrect, Hana stated clearly. Her voice carried a mixture of professional honesty and personal transformation. Yeon's technical slides showed complex human technological innovations, quantum computing systems, adaptive energy technologies, medical breakthroughs that could regenerate entire biological systems. Sue's biological research sections demonstrated human cellular adaptability, genetic reconstruction techniques, environmental transformation capabilities that seemed almost magical. King Nexar watched from a private viewing section. His diplomatic strategy had worked perfectly. The research presentation destroyed years of established alien perspectives about human potential. Each slide challenged existing scientific understanding. Each data point revealed a civilization far more complex than anyone had imagined. Michael, Hana's partner, sat in the audience. His subtle smile indicated pride in her intellectual journey. David and Elena also attended, supporting Yeon and Sue. Humans are not a primitive species, Hana explained. They are an emerging galactic civilization with extraordinary adaptive capabilities. Yeon demonstrated quantum communication technologies that could bridge massive interstellar distances. Her research showed how humans could potentially create communication networks across entire star systems. Sue's biological research revealed human genetic engineering techniques that could transform entire planetary ecosystems. Toxic environments could be regenerated. Damaged biological systems could be reconstructed. The consortium members listened in stunned silence. These were not just research findings. These were potential revolutionary discoveries. We were wrong, Sue said simply. Her statement carried more weight than complex scientific explanations. The presentation concluded with a comprehensive overview of human potential, not as a superior species, but as a unique, adaptive civilization with remarkable capabilities. King Nexar approached the stage after the presentation. Exceptional work, he told the sisters. His royal endorsement meant everything in their scientific community. The human diplomatic team celebrated quietly. J-Park's original strategy had worked perfectly. The sisters had become unexpected ambassadors for human potential. Diplomatic channels began shifting. Alien research institutions started requesting collaboration with human scientific teams. The perspective had completely transformed. Michael, David, and Eleanor had done more than become partners. They had become bridges between civilizations. Their personal connections had facilitated a massive cultural and scientific transformation. The sisters' personal journeys were as remarkable as their research. Hana had discovered emotional complexity through human literature. Yeon had learned that scientific innovation was about asking unexpected questions. Sue had understood that biological systems were more than just data points. King Nexar's plan had multiple layers. These marriages were not just diplomatic arrangements. They were potential cosmic connections that could reshape galactic understanding. The research presentation became a turning point. Humans were no longer seen as a primitive species to be studied from a distance. They were potential partners in a much larger cosmic conversation. Alien research institutions began requesting collaborative programs. Human technological and cultural experts found themselves invited to multiple planetary systems. The sisters' transformation was complete. Their academic arrogance had been replaced by genuine scientific curiosity. Their mockery had become respect. Their limited understanding had expanded into a complex, nuanced perspective. As the conference concluded, Hana looked at Michael. David caught Yeon's eye. Elena smiled at Sue. These were not just professional partnerships, these were connections that could potentially reshape cosmic understanding. Humanity had found its unexpected diplomatic champions. Three alien sisters who had once mocked humans were now their most passionate advocates. The cosmic stage was set for a new chapter of interstellar cooperation. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this part of the story?